I'm Shane.
And I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back.
Episode 27.
27.
We're officially past the 6 month.
Past the 6 month mark.
We're now officially on our way towards the 1 year.
The 1 year anniversary.
Yeah,
We're going to party.
We are more than halfway.
We're halfway there. Whoa!
We decided after last time that maybe we should dial it back and just have fun.
We needed to light and happy.
Yeah, happy.
after last week.
Lots of laughs.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in just a minute, but before we start, as usual, we're going to hit you with the socials.
Yep, so you got to know how to find us so you can talk to us and shit, guys.
That's right. So again, we'll start with the meta apps. So the Facebook and the Instagram. I'll go ahead and start lumping those together.
Yeah, because they're basically the same.
Let's do this a little bit faster from now on. There is no reason to spend so much time on the socials. Let's just get them done.
Agreed.
And so, yeah, Facebook and Instagram. And for that matter, like I told you last time, Threads, if I happen to start
doing
looking at it again, those are all going to be just Kentucky Fried Critics. Nothing special. Just,
Right, there you go.
You
Nice and easy.
Facebook, that's going to be a / Kentucky Fried Critics for the URL. For Threads and Instagram, I think it's both like an @ Kentucky Fried for the handle.
I don't understand how any of that shit works.
But so then once we leave those, we can go ahead and get on to YouTube.
Yeah,
that's the one.
The low key, kind of my new favorite now.
It's fun since we found a fun way to say it, right? Like it makes it way different. And so yeah, that one is going to be at KFC Critics.
Yep,
very different. But we found a fun way to do that. If you have to have one that's different.
Yeah, because KFC Critics is kind of hard to say. KFC Critics just rolls right out.
You still even didn't say it right. It would be KF Critics.
That's why I didn't even do it right that time. See, it's hard to do.
It is.
So I like our new way.
Yeah, KFC Critics. So again, though, remember, guys, if you want to make us a second unofficial mascot, we have an official mascot that is
Colonel Pop Culture, our little 3D glasses wearing bucket.
Yeah. If anybody wants to make us one of those,
that'd be cool.
Fan-made, we could always use that. But again, if we want a secondary unofficial mascot, that's going to be our new KFC Riddick.
Yeah, so we need a Riddick. Somebody design one for us.
Whatever you think.
Whatever your imagination comes up with on what a Riddick might be.
Go ahead and send it our way. That goes into our next one, which is going to be our website, which again, that's Bo's favorite. Hold your excitement until I'm finished.
Okay, I'm good. All right,
and so that's going to be at shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
See, I was very calm that time. I didn't freak out.
You handled yourself very well.
I was all
You're being very calm right now.
Trying, man.
I think you've made it through the worst of the addiction.
I think so. I think I'm getting better.
You're on the upswing.
Yeah, now it's just like I got a handle on it. It's all good. I'm not going to stop doing it by any means, but I got it under control.
Know how to live in society, right?
Take your hyphens in moderation, children.
And then, of course, after our website, that just leaves the original.
The OG.
And so that's going to be, our email. It's KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com. That's the one you want to send us some ideas. Again, you can send them to us any way you want that's private. But the email is definitely a handy one. As long as it's not a
public way.
Public facing, that's for memes. That's for funny. That's for funny shit. That's for just interacting.
Witty comments.
Yeah, that's just for interacting with us in general. But
you got an idea, though? You can email that shit.
Find the private ways. Because, we want to make sure that your idea stays in rotation for what we might do. So that's the best way to handle it.
By this point, surely.
I hope so. Speaking of which, that was a great segue.
Wasn't it? I did it totally by accident.
Well, what do we tell everybody we're drinking this week? What's in our can?
What's in our can? Our lovely green can here is the Founders Centennial IPA.
Centennial IPA. What's a Centennial?
It's a century, right?
The 100-year anniversary. So we tried to give you guys a little bit of an extra clue with the picture.
Yeah, with the two cans. Get it?
This is bicentennial. I still don't think they're going to get this. No, this is one of those ones that was totally just for me.
Right. We laughed about it.
Yeah. The movie itself is a movie I don't think anybody's gonna know.
I'd never heard of it.
This was, again, much like I told everybody last week was a Bo, this was a me. This was 100% a me, because when I tell people about this movie, almost nobody else has ever even heard of it. Not seen it, just heard of it. They don't. This is a foreign concept of a movie to them.
That was my reaction. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Regardless of what clues or what drink we could have found, nothing could have prepared people to get this one right.
No.
So
I'm expecting a lot of bicentennial mans.
Oh yeah. So we'll go ahead and jump straight to it now. This is Spirit of 76. That's
Get it?
Spirit of apostrophe 76. We'll slowly ease people
Ease
into
you in
this.
on this one.
So the movie's setting is 1976, but it's time travelers from the future going
Like
to
2376.
21.
Is it
So it's
2176?
the two bicentennials, right?
Nice easy math for you.
Two 200-year gaps from when our nation was founded in 1776.
And everything sucks.
But the movie stars David Cassidy, Leif Garret
Leif
is
Garret.
in it. This is a wild ride of a movie. Like I said, I don't think that anybody.
I can't quit smiling. This
Yeah.
movie's awesome.
So I don't think anybody will have gotten that.
You got David Cassidy and Leif Garret. Well, where the hell do you fucking want? That is cheesy movie gold right there.
This movie is the reason that David Cassidy and Leif Garret are friends. It has nothing to do with the fact that they were both teen heartthrobs in the 70s. They met each other. They met each other then, but they just never really became
They had
friends.
like one scene together.
They did this movie together, and then they completely hit it off, and
That's
they've been
awesome.
super good friends since 1990.
That's
because of this movie.
fantastic. They're cruising around that dope ass car of his all after they were all shooting. They're just like, yeah, let's go.
But yeah, since you had already mentioned how great it was, they were both here. I just figured it was a good
I
time to
love
go ahead and
that.
throw that
That
one
makes
in.
this movie even better that they're like best friends because of it.
So yeah, we'll start again from the very beginning now. So like I said, this is Spirit of 76. That's Spirit of apostrophe 76. It's what many people would consider a nepotism movie. It's a nepo baby movie.
Oh yeah, if you look at all the people that made it.
The credits, yeah. So again, like starting from the very top, it's directed by Lucas Reiner. That's Carl Reiner's son, not Rob, his other son.
Other one, the lesser known Reiner.
And then beyond that, he's the director, but then the like producer is Roman Coppola.
The costume designer is Sophia Coppola.
Well, and on top of that, Roman Coppola and Lucas Reiner are the writers of the movie. They wrote the movie.
Usually nepotism doesn't work out. This
But
one,
this
I
is
totally think
hilarious.
it did. It was great.
Is exactly what my notes say. My notes are like, look, don't let nobody try to take anything away
Right.
from this movie because they earned everything they did here. It's great. It's hilarious.
Before
it's funny.
you start getting all mad about it and being like, oh, they just gave their kids jobs. I'm like, no, but look what they did. It's fantastic.
Yes, they deserve everything they got here. It's a movie I already said that most of you listening will probably have never seen or heard of. I wish you had, and I hope you will hear us and go see this. It is truly hilarious. It was ahead of its time.
Oh, no, for real.
This movie came out in 1990, and so a lot of people feel like it is a total satire spoof
Of the 70s.
of the 70s. Everything that's on screen is meant to be either a nod or a joke or a hint and a wink to something
From the 70s,
culture.
right?
In 1990, due to how again, technology today is way different, right? Like, we could make a movie. It's 2024. We could make a movie about 2010 and totally love the nostalgia vibe of it.
Oh, yeah.
Think
Oh,
it's
man,
great.
look at that old Nokia cell phone.
Right, we wouldn't care. But in 1990, just due to the fact that, again, there weren't streaming services, there were less TV shows coming out because there were less channels for them to be on. There, like just due to the nature of
There wasn't as much shit.
the 70s just didn't feel as far away.
Far away.
From 1990.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I grew up on 70s and 80s shit.
Right. Me too. And again, and I'm we're of the same. We're just a few
just
years
90s
different.
kids.
And so, like, for us to feel that way, we were definitely not close to it.
No.
Then for the adults that this movie was intended to be the
Right,
audience
like our
of,
parents. It's
they
like, oh, no, it
definitely
just happened.
They felt too insulted by some of the jokes.
How dare you make fun of my bell-bottom jeans and handlebar mustache
and doing
asshole.
the hustle, and what I mean, like too close too soon. This movie was just maybe too ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Right. Beyond who we already said are the people who directed it and everything in the movie, they pulled some strings.
They got some people in here.
Well, first off, obviously we said it's directed by Lucas Reiner. Carl Reiner is in it.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner is in it.
Yes.
They both have small parts.
Small little tiny parts.
But they're in it. Obviously, those are names he wouldn't have gotten without being
otherwise
who
it's
he
like,
is.
come on, man, please be in my movie. Like, I was an extra in your movie that one time, remember?
But beyond that, like, we'll hit the main starring role first. So then, that's David Cassidy.
Our heartthrob.
The Partridge
Family, baby.
Olivia Diabo, the girl. She's in the movie Greedy with Michael J. Fox. You know the one I'm talking about? Where his grandpa is rich and he's got to try to help his grandpa, and she's the nurse. And it's this whole thing about trying to steal money from him, but he falls in love with the nurse. It's a weird movie. It's really funny. I suggest you see it.
Never seen that one.
She's in it. She's in a few things, but I mean, that's one of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
She was the better actress in the whole movie.
Well, again, so the other main character, Heinz 57, not a major actor.
Really?
Yeah.
He's really good, though.
Jeff Hoyle.
Well, he should have done more stuff. If you're out there listening, buddy, get back in it. You were good.
He is not a well-known actor, Mr. Heinz 57, our other major character. Since I've already said it with him, we should point out all the people from the future. So David Cassidy, also from the future, he is Adam 11. It's a nod to Dragnet. Yeah. Adam 12. Adam 12 is what they call the police station on the radio.
Yeah, that one went over my head. I've never seen Dragnet.
Olivia Diabo is Chanel 6.
That one,
like Chanel number 5. This is Chanel
like
number
that
6.
One I understood.
Yeah. Which I guess her name is supposed to be the thing that helps you know that sometimes the number might be one off.
Well, it's Chanel 6, not 5. Everybody knows that perfume.
But yeah, Heinz 57
that one's
was
spot
on. He nailed it. But yeah, so everybody in the future has it's a weird
name.
They
have numbers. Are they clones? Is that what's up?
They never give us anything. I don't even want to make speculation.
That's how I'm going to explain it. Like they're all clones of the same person, like that episode of Star Trek.
But so those are our main people in the movie. But beyond that, we have 2 of our people in the 70s that are again like these are our these 3 are our future protagonists. I would say our present day, which even is weird to say because it was made in the 90s but set in the 70s. But so the people who were the 1970s heroes. They are the McDonald brothers, Jeffrey and Steve. They were in a band, Red Cross. That's REDDKROSS, because you can't get more like
metal than
late
that,
70s,
right?
early 80s metal than spelling it like that.
Right. Like, we should change how the words are and add a D, dude. It'll be great.
So they're cred to knowing all the references and things that they say for language and lingo and shit. They've got the street cred for it.
Spot on. That's what we did.
They are from that era and they were doing those things. So they definitely know. Leif Garret. we just gotta mention
and weird
that.
Leif Garret.
And he's not. Oh yeah, it's at a weird era in his history.
Right? It's like if you didn't see him in the credits, you'd be like, that's not Leif Garret. What are you talking about?
He's not in as big of a part as David Cassidy. It's really a pretty small part.
Somebody's brother.
Bit character.
Yeah.
He gets more screen time than you would expect from when he shows up, but still very small part.
Right.
But yeah, he doesn't look like 70s Leif Garret necessarily because he's aged just enough that, because 70s Leif Garret was still teenage enough that he still had like that boyish, like
the
bone
face
structure, right? Like he hadn't actually aged.
Look at his chubby cheeks.
So this is like a mix of like, he's trying to have those haircut and clothes.
Right, trying to look younger, but he's not quite pulling it off.
His face is very much more a man now.
Your face is old and haggard, sir. I'm sorry, you can't pull it off.
But as me and Bo said, this is also just not the Leif Garret. So, like if you grew up in the 70s, you know that Leif Garret, the one that we were talking about. If you grew up in the 90s as millennial kids like we did, then you know VH1 Leif Garret. So he had like black eyeliner on all the time, wore the goatee. Sometimes was black, right?
You like painted in with a Sharpie, I guess.
And so that he was just in between these 2 eras that we know Leif Garret as.
Right. You could easily miss him in this movie.
You 100% could. I would understand if you did.
When he smiles, though, I guess you can see it.
There's a comedy they're a performance art duo, but they're kind of like a comedy duo is in the movie. The 2 agents. They're
the CIA agent guys?
They're the Kipper brothers or the Kipper something.
No.
Give me a second. I want to make sure I got... They're the Kipper kids.
The Kipper kids. They're awful old to be kids.
Yeah, and so one of the 2 of them is Bette Midler's husband.
Go you, dude. Make that fucking money.
Right. So they are funny, though.
I like them. I like the bumbling agents. Yeah. They're great.
I think we're good for the most. Anybody else that's in it, we can wait until we see them.
Yeah.
Which there are some more. There are a few big names that randomly surprise pop in.
No, one right in the beginning here.
I know. Like we already said, this is a lighter movie.
Yeah, it's nice and fun.
It's jovial. We've said before, like if you're from the 90s is usually the era of the a tight 90.
Yeah, you
right?
have an hour and a half max.
Hour and 20.
Hour and 21.
And that's with credits at the beginning and end. This movie is
like an
quick.
hour and 10.
It's
Take those
tight.
off.
So again, guys, this might be a fast one, but after last
week, I think it's okay.
Heavy and long, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
This is just a fun ride
Right,
that we hope you guys will.
We needed to like cleanse,
Shake it off a little
shake
bit.
it off from last week.
But hopefully this one just inspires you guys to go see this. Find it somewhere.
Yeah, go watch it. You can buy it on YouTube.
It's definitely worth it too. I promise. Rent it if you're not if you don't want to buy
keep it. Yeah, you can do that. I forgot.
It's even cheaper.
It's even cheaper, and they'll go ahead and just take it from you when you're done.
But I'm promising you might love it, and then you'll kick yourself because then you will spend more to buy it. You know, you will have wasted that $4 rental money.
So just go ahead and buy it, just to save you the time because you're gonna like it.
I will say right now we're not sponsored.
I'm saying you're gonna like it, so go ahead and just buy it. Save the extra $4.
So the movie immediately opens though with a shot of one of the members of Devo. That's one of our people we were saving for you. Devo, the whole band.
The whole band is there
because again, you can't have. They're
one.
almost always together, right? Like so you just refer to them as a collective. They are Devo. And so Devo is there. Right out the gate.
Please
first thing you see
for our national anthem.
And their national anthem is just
a dial tone?
It's specific, dude. You remember it's the tone that a channel used to make when it went off the air.
The off the air fucking the beep noise that would wake you up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's what it is.
Oh shit, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't exist anymore. And that's exactly what I thought when I heard it. I was like
green and white and red bars and shit all on the screen.
There are gonna be so many people. Again, if some of the younger people that listen to us, now that we know we have some,
I forgot.
Well, some of the people younger than you just haven't. They have not lived in an era where that
TV
existed.
Stopped.
Yeah,
that is the national anthem of America in 2176.
And we see a very bleak,
gray draft. Everybody's just kind of standing in one spot. They have like bags on their head.
And then immediately cut to Carl Reiner looking rough.
Yeah,
on purpose.
Yeah, because he's like
he's acting.
Thaw him out or something.
No. He's dying. He is the oldest living man, and he's the last living man who remembers the time before the degaussing. Do you know what that means?
The big electromagnetic storm that stripped all the records.
Well, degaussing is specifically magnetism. It's demagnetizing something that has
all your audio tape.
So in the 90s, everything would have been something that could have been affected by. I don't think degaussing is something we have to worry about with certain types of modern hard drives.
No, I don't think so.
And so again, it's an issue that we wouldn't deal with as society today, but 90s society would have been worried about.
Definitely could have happened if a big solar flare just hit and just stripped all the files off of all of our nice tapes and shit. It's like, oh man, what happened?
So Carl Reiner is just playing Dr. Von Mobile. So notice he is old enough. He doesn't have a name and a number. So whatever those mean,
very old.
He's old. So he's the last living man who can remember a time before the records were erased. So these people all just live in a time where nobody knows history because it was deleted.
It's just gone.
But he remembers.
Kinda.
Yeah, exactly. They start to ask him about it, and so it's very funny. They ask him like what important things he can remember, and he was like the Constitution, and he starts to say stuff, and he mixes it up with the Miranda rights.
Yeah, he's like, we the people have the right to remain silent.
Yeah, and so he immediately just starts mixing it up, and they're just like, but then he does say a few key words that they pick up on: liberty, foreign concept. They don't know it. They're like, what? What is liberty? And then he says, freedom. And he coughs a little bit.
Yep.
Dumb. Freedom. Dumb. And
what
he
goes, freedom, dumb.
Dumb joke. Great joke, though.
I laughed. It was good.
He does correct him, though. He goes, freedom.
And Christmas for all. So I'm like, fuck yeah, it's Christmas for everybody, man.
Now, in his struggle, though, he did finally tell them the right time.
Yeah, he did tell them to go back to.
He said, if you want to save us. Now, this is funny because this is definitely very late 80s, early 90s. This is very Cold War era sentiment, right? Like, this isn't a future where they're trying to save all of humanity. This is a future where he is trying to send them back to save America?
Yeah, just America. Fuck the rest of the world.
Oh, I mean, the rest of the world might be messed up too, but that's not the focus of this group. Because he is trying to tell them the way to save it is to go back to the founding of our great nation.
The founding fathers.
Right? So again, today, if you think about a movie like this being made, we would scrap this thought It would most likely be a team assembled from around the world going back in time.
Everybody's involved.
And rightfully so, because again, if it was this
that bad,
bleak,
you would
it's
want
probably this bleak
everybody's help.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a say-so in fixing that.
Right? It's like, can we help at least?
But yeah, so we see this as just like, let's go back to 1776
and take the Constitution and bring it back. That's the mission.
That's the way to save it. And it's like, but this is where they start like they're sci-fi, but they quickly drop the ball, because any true sci-fi nerd is instantly like, but what's the ramifications of taking
you
that?
can't just go back and take that.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
What are you going to do? You're going to walk in and shoot Thomas Jefferson?
We've not even heard that that's the mission yet. We just know that they know that's when they should go to, and that the Constitution is important. As soon as that's, and then he dies. Very abrupt, but that's
it was great the way he died. He was like, you must go back to 1770.
And they were like, 1770? Yeah.
And then just died.
Yeah. Again, that's very Carl Reiner. He's definitely done that before. It's good. Again, I'm not knocking it. Carl Reiner knows what he's doing. It's funny.
It's fucking fantastic.
But yeah, so then we finished though right there. I'm telling you this, I don't feel like it was a made-for-TV movie. Like, I feel like this is a real movie, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost filmed like it's like a made-for-TV movie. So we get the beginning opening.
Yeah, then we get this cold open, and then we get the credits.
Like a TV show.
Like a TV show, yeah.
And so now we get the credits. We get the open, right? And so now it's the brightest, craziest 1970s colors, man. Flashing heart signs, peace signs, different things shit. Just morphing into
zodiac symbols and shit going everywhere.
It's outrageous. All set to the song Pick Up the Pieces by Average White Band. And I know that if you don't know what I'm talking about, you were like, what? Look it up.
You've heard it.
You've heard it. Look it up. You've heard it. Exactly. Look it up.
And as soon as you hear it, you're going to start dancing. You're going to be like, oh, shit.
This is some funky shit, especially for a band called the Average White Band. So this whole soundtrack.
Play that funky music, white boy.
It's not that song, though. I want to make sure people...
But it applies.
Yes, it does.
But it's not that song.
This sets us up for addressing this. The soundtrack for this whole movie
fucking dope.
Rocks. It's
I love
70s rock music. It's
Dude,
70s metal music. It's 70s.
It's a little bit, it's all
it's
the
a
best
little bit
shit,
of everything from the 70s, because as we've already addressed, Leif Garret is rocking some bell bottoms and he's doing the hustle.
Big color shirt.
You know,
got the medallion.
He's totally just doing some. He's our Saturday Night Fever disco dancing stand-in.
Guy, he's the ladies' man.
This movie's soundtrack, you can tell this is from before there
were like copyright issues and shit, and everybody wanted money for everything.
Because if not, this movie would have had an outrageous budget just on the music, right? Because there's so many, dude. Everything
every bit of this has some kind of song in it.
It's a jam.
It is like awesome.
Everything. There's no filler tracks. They are all literal rock fucking anthems.
Roll songs, dude. It's great.
We can't tell you every song, but if you hear us randomly humming or singing, just understand that that's what was going on, and we can't move past the scene. The scene played in our head, and now it's there.
There it is, because all these songs you've heard at one point or another, and they're all dope.
As soon as we do all of our intros, and we get to see the fact that it is definitely a Reiner production.
Oh yeah,
and a
nepotism.
Coppola. Once we see Lucas's name and Roman's name up in big letters, we officially finish our color palette.
Right, our kaleidoscope of
that
color
was on the screen, and we can start the movie, and we get another immediate shot of Devo. This time, all four of them.
All four of them.
So you definitely know it's Devo.
And they have
two of them have the weird glasses.
Little glasses, and they all have the weird little graduation hat.
Well, because it's not thing. Devo if they don't have a weird hat. They love to wear weird hats.
I love
it. And then somebody always has weird glasses. Goggly glasses. It's clearly Devo in this shot when you can see all four of them. But they immediately walk over top of David Cassidy playing Adam 11, like we've addressed. So yeah, now that we're in movie world, he's just Adam.
He's just Adam.
We probably won't even say 11 every time.
That's annoying.
No, Heinz 57. I'm going to call him
Heinz 57 because
every time. Fun. But the other two, I'll probably just use their name.
Yeah.
We slowly find this out as the scene develops, but I want to bring it up to you right now because it's so absurd to me. They walk up to him, right? Because they're like, hey, we know we need to go time travel. you were wanting this chemical because you made this machine
That
can time
travels.
travel, right? So again, we're establishing that this is a world where nobody else is. He is the one.
He is the time travel guy.
Because at first, again, this is why I was saying, like, I want to address all of it
Right now.
immediately. Because the way the conversation pans out, it takes a while to piece that together. Because they almost make it seem like they have time travel in general or something.
right, but he's like the closest or whatever.
Something. But no. By the time the conversation is done, we know he is literally the man who invented time travel. They have known about time travel for a while because he's been asking for the chemical. They've been telling him no. It's a world that had no history.
Why wouldn't you take the time machine?
It seems
he should have priority on this chemical, right?
Seems to me this movie didn't need to exist.
The Ministry of Knowledge is not a very smart organization.
The plot took care of itself before we got there. We don't need to be here. Okay,
Right,
I
we're
just want to
done.
make
Show's
sure.
over, guys. Let's go.
But you were on the same page, right?
Yeah.
Like this, but now
It's like, wait, if he's had this time machine the whole time, why didn't you just give him the chemical? Why'd you have to keep
Again,
Because he's like, I applied for it like 5 times or whatever to give this stupid thing.
Even if it didn't work, at least they could
Let
have
him
tried.
fucking try, right?
Because-
But no, now they need something, so it's okay.
Well, because
We're
now
gonna
it's
give it to you.
now it's catastrophic. Before it was like, oh well, we can just be a place without a history. It's like, no,
fine.
you should have known we couldn't. And when that man said, I can get us history, yeah, the Ministry of Knowledge. That's who Levo play. They are, well, at least part of it. Because they say they're from the ministry.
the ministry. They're not the entirety of it.
They're there to give him the assignment to travel there in his time machine. Now that we've addressed the absurdity of it, we don't have to keep going there. But yeah, so it's his time machine.
With a select team.
Well, and he was like, fuck that. I'm
No,
not a hero.
doing that. What are you talking about? I just want to go back in time so I can go to the beach.
He wants to go, and I'm not ruining this joke because if you are a human with eyes,
they have a
you know it immediately. He wants to go to Icky Beach. That's what he calls it. But then he pulls his postcard out, and it's just that it's ripped. It's Waikiki.
Yeah,
it's Waikiki, but the
just
W and
missing
A have been ripped off the corner. And then in this future, it doesn't exist anymore, and so he doesn't know Waikiki, and
so
he's
it's
constantly
Icky Beach. That doesn't sound like a fun place to go. I don't want to go to Icky Beach.
I can't believe that was a joke. That was a.
You are definitely stepping on a needle at Icky.
Well, and
Beach.
that was a constantly gone to joke. Like, they used that joke so many times. It's probably one of the few jokes I was like, this isn't that funny. I don't know which one of them. I don't know if this was a Roman or a Lucas, but one of them was wrong, and it's not funny. It should not have been there.
I'm gonna blame Coppola.
Right.
He seems like he's not the one that'd be funnier.
For some reason, I agree, and I don't know why. I don't know either of these people.
Some of his dad's pretension rubbed off on him. He can't possibly be funny,
but
right?
for some reason, I think you're right. The icky.
Yeah.
That's all he wants. And he's
wants
like,
to
you
go
guys
there,
are wrong.
sit on the
Take this,
beach."
shove it up your butt. I'll point out one of the people talking is Heinz 57.
Yeah, he's the one.
It's just before we know
who he is,
how important he is.
He actually lays out the mission and shit.
Yeah, he's the one that's like, no, this is important. We get
We
this.
need to go back
I
and
don't
do
even remember
this.
what. It's some kind of weird time. He had a label for what kind of scientist she was, the woman, right?
Yeah,
and at first he just ignored her.
just
He's
a
like,
bunch of different sciences mashed together.
And so at first David Cassidy was just like, I don't care. And then she walks up and he was
I
like,
care now.
Oh, I'll go.
Yeah, when we going? How long till we leave?
How many of us?
Is it just me and her? Because
That's when he found out. No.
Oh.
Heinz 57's coming too.
All right, fine, I guess.
Now, I'll point out that we see it right now, and it's a joke that doesn't pay off for a little bit, and it only barely pays off. But when he opens up his time machine, the wallpaper
is money.
hundreds
And ones
and tens.
and just like every denomination of bills just plastered on the wall. I mean, money's you.
They don't even address
know what
it right
it is,
now.
I guess.
They don't even address it right now. They're just like,
It's just back there behind him, chilling.
Oh, I also want to. Did you get the actual name of the chemical? I did write this down.
Tetrahydrazine, right?
Tetrahydrozoline 6.
Tetrahydrozoline 6. That's a fucking mouthful.
But yeah, that's the chemical he's been needing. It's not important, guys.
But
I just
all remember that.
I just ran past it in my notes and wanted to throw that out there because
it'll come back toward the end.
They definitely say it a lot. While it's not important to know exactly what that is, they say it a lot.
We'll call it chemical.
Just know it's the thing that make time travel go boom boom. They make it work.
Make it spin, and then we go through the sickening vortex of rotoscoped light.
Looking like some 1970s Doctor Who
It
footage.
was great.
This is, I mean, literally, it looks like they just
Little
filmed this.
nauseating, but it was awesome.
It looked like they filmed this in their basement, dude. Like, right?
It was
Tell me
good.
it didn't.
It did.
I love it.
It was awesome.
Again, for a thing that a lot of the other effects look
If you were
okay.
really high watching that, man, dude.
Well, for a thing that a lot
In
of
a
the other
dark room.
effects are okay.
Yeah,
But this one
was really bad.
now's the point, though. I won't. This hat. The hat that David Cassidy is wearing inside the time machine.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I
Weird little odd.
It's square. It was square brimmed.
Bend.
That's short and flat against
Points
your
up.
face. I remember, and his is gray because everything in the future was in a weird gray scale.
Yeah.
Like blue gray. It was weird. I don't even know, but yeah, his was solid gray. This hat though,
It was super
it's
weird.
the first thing. You remember I told you like so much of this movie is just like forged in my head.
Right.
Like it just like as I was watching it, I was like,
I
core
remember so
memories.
much.
This is one of them. I remember being a kid and wanting this style hat so
want
bad.
that.
And so this hat, the second I was watching this for us to talk about it, as soon as I saw it, I was just like,
I have to have this hat. Did you go and search?
no, not
Just
yet.
Immediately go look for it.
Because I will buy it instantly. We can move past this. They do travel. They time travel. He takes them back. It's funny they say he's a pilot. He literally
He
just set it
sits
to.
there with
he
like just
pushed-
like holding the wall, like
Well, he pushed the button so it said 17. That's what he did.
He set the timer
to 1776.
and like we got 12 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say the announcer told us that.
Yeah, the exposition computer
Told us that
when they
due
were
to-
loading in.
due to the weight of the three of again, this is one of those moments where I said they start to get sci-fi
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
they
like,
stop.
as they tried to do techno babble, but
And
kinda
then the
gave up.
person was just like, I don't know how to write this.
Yeah,
and they
just
stop.
whatever, it's fine.
And so they start with this real good reasoning, and then they just immediately are like, well, it's just 12 hours. Don't worry about it. 12
Yeah.
hours. They've got 12?
They got 12
Okay.
hours or everything's over. The human race is
Well,
done.
it's not even just that, right? It's that in 12 hours they can't travel back. Like,
Yeah.
But because of them not traveling back, we'll make it
We'll
to
make
where
it
life
to where
is done.
everything is
Yeah.
over.
So it's a double-edged sword.
double-edged catch-22.
Yeah, because they will still be alive. They will just be stuck in the 70s, and they never address that.
Not a bad place to be stuck.
Not compared to what 2176
Yeah, right.
looked like.
Everything's fucking gray.
I
mean, all
think
that's
it's funny
great,
that
but
at no
damn.
point was that one of the plot lines of the movie was them arguing with each other about, do we just stay?
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, that gets us.
David Cassidy's
Well,
character. He
not
probably
even.
should have.
I mean, as soon as they land, we get a reason why all three of them would have said that. As soon as they land, they get out and they go, "What is this? Nature? I've read about that one time. Stop.
stories.
Right? Like, come on.
Never seen grass. It's like, yep, nope, never going back.
That would have been the official.
Smash the machine. Fuck the future. We're staying right here.
But yeah, so they land. We as the audience know that it's 1976. We
Yeah,
see
because the little clock timer.
Well, even
clicks over.
even before the clock timer ticks over, we could see like the pan out from where they walked out, and you could see some of the cars.
Yeah,
and
cars
shit.
and
So
shit.
you knew it wasn't
Yeah,
1776.
it's like, well, there's obviously like a old Studebaker back there.
And so then they do show us though the timer, like after we see that obviously it wasn't, the timer fixes itself.
Yeah,
1976.
It's like
So it is David Cassidy's fault then,
Yeah,
right?
it's all
Because
your fault,
he's the
man.
man who was manning the computer, so he should have noticed that he went from.
I think even when they were about to travel, he had to like flick it to make it.
So he should have noticed.
Yeah, this is on you, brother. You killed us all.
Now that being said, it's never brought up again, and
Not a
they
big
never.
problem either,
It is
really.
something to address right now. They never realize
Yeah, they don't, do they? They never even realize that they're not in 1776, do they?
the whole movie. They believe
They wouldn't fucking know. It's
They
just, oh,
believe
wow,
that
cool.
they are in 1776. Because again, they come from a point where there's no recorded history.
They would have no idea.
There is nothing for them to have a point of reference to know that they're in the wrong time.
It's not like if I fucking did it.
Yeah, well, they don't know what 1776 means.
Looked like
They don't
have no
know.
idea. None of it. It's like, oh, okay, that's just a long time ago in the before time, in the long ago.
Almost like last week with they sing songs that remind us of the before
time.
Exactly, though. It's just a vague time
Right.
long ago. They have no reference to it. As soon as they step out, though, we get our second set of protagonists. Like I said, so the easiest way to keep this up will just be future protagonist, present protagonist.
Present protagonist.
Because they will split up into groups several times, and it will just keep it simple.
yeah.
But so our present protagonists, we see them for the first time. And so that's going to be, it's Tommy and Chris, right?
Yeah, Tommy and Chris.
These are the two brothers. These are the guys who are in the band Red Cross. That they look
They
the
are
part.
70s as fuck, dude. Bell-bottom jeans. He's got one of them's got the weird little hat thing that I swear I've seen on What's Happening.
The dude that plays Tommy, so not the one with the parents, not the 18-year-old, the
17-year-old,
we'll see that
like,
joke in a minute.
They say their ages.
But so Tommy, whenever he talks, something about him just reminds me of Corey Feldman, like 1992 Corey Feldman, like Dream a Little Dream 2 Corey Feldman, like when he was dressed up like Michael Jackson, Corey Feldman. Something about this dude, both in like the weird nasally
and the way he
pronounces it.
Yes, shit. Yeah,
I don't know. Every time I watch this movie, there were times when I was a kid, I definitely know I thought it was Corey Feldman.
That was how he studied. He just went back, watched some Feldman. He's like, I'm going to channel him when I go to work on Monday. I'm just going to channel the Feldman.
He definitely gives me that kind of vibe. But yeah, so they notice this, the two of them notice this weirdness up on the hill. They're like, let's go check it out. And they ride up there. These people start talking to him, and Tommy looks at Chris and he goes, Tommy, man, did I do mushrooms today?
I don't think so, man.
Oh,
these guys must be burnt out on some acid, some leftovers from like the 69, man, Woodstock.
It's just to set up for the us as the viewer. They're 100% in the 70s and hardcore the 70s.
Yeah, hardcore 70s.
The vocab is going to be very 70s lingo.
Man.
They just wanted you to know that out the gate. That's really all this was for, right? Like they wanted us to know straight away.
Striped pants, bell bottoms, and peace sign.
Those two guys, they're teenagers. As the introductions are done, Adam 11, Heinz 57, Chanel 6. And so the dude goes, I'm Tommy 17, Chris 18. Priceless, dude. Right? I loved it.
Why do they think that was their ages? She's clearly not 6 and he's not 11. I mean, he might be
57. I don't know.
Might be.
Well, this is a time where 57 was very different than today's 57, right? Yeah. People aged a lot harder still. Even though it was only 1990, it was still very different.
Right.
So it's a maybe on that one. It's a hard maybe.
I think it's a little mean.
Well, again, in the 70s.
Yeah, that's fair. In the 70s, true.
57 was a very hard. That's what I'm saying.
In the 70s, 57 is like 75.
Yeah, it's a very, very different thing. So they might believe.
Like, yeah, okay, you're 57.
They might be like, hell, you look really good for 57.
You look great for 57, man. Hell yeah, dude. Keep it fit.
But I love when they show up, though, after we get our introductions. They're like, what are those? The bicycles? 2 wheels. I've never seen
I've never seen such a thing.
I love this. He goes, Banana Chopper 4s, dude. What's the name of the bike? With quarter spokes and full knobbies. I have no idea
What's
the fuck.
A knobby?
I could follow him for the Banana Chopper 4. I get it. It's the style. Yeah, it's a banana. It's got the motorcycle style thing in the back. Yeah. So that's the Banana Chopper. I get that. 4. It's the 4th edition. Yeah, I can understand this.
Big handlebars and shit. What the fuck's a nubby though?
Nobby. I don't know. Nobby. Whatever. It might be nubby. I don't know, but it's I even got the 1/4-inch spokes, dude. I understand
what that was, but what the hell's a nobby or nubby?
Full nobbies. And it's the way he delivers the line too. Full nobbies.
Then they look at them and go, "What's that?" He's like,
"This is nuts." They look at him and they go, "Oh, this? Can we trust you?"
Totally.
All right, this is our time machine. We're from the future. What if this was 1776?
Right? They would have shot you and burned you for witchcraft.
I was like,
it's a good thing you landed in 1976.
Again, as sci-fi nerds,
right?
This is one of those points where you're like, so nobody had to talk with them about what you should
but again, say.
When you have no reference to history, wouldn't that affect your ability to think about like what might happen if you change things? You have no reference to that.
Yeah, right. That's
holy
true.
Fuck shit.
My butterfly effect goes out of control when you don't know what the hell you even look out for, does it?
These guys definitely at no point in this movie care about any kind of like what will happen because of their
breaking the temporal prime directive everywhere.
They do. Thank God they live far enough in the future they don't know stock market things, because these are the kind of guys that would have been making billionaires out of regular people walking down the street without thinking of the consequences.
They would have just told them stuff like, "Oh yeah, here in a couple of years, that's going to be like the biggest company in the world," and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Right. Thankfully, we're not there. After that, the guys still, I maybe believe them. I don't even know now. But as this is going on,
like, okay, cool.
A third person rides up. Rodney Snodgrass.
God, I hate that goober.
The way they talk about him when he rides up is so funny. And he is the Uber door.
Yeah, it just...
He's got a little camera. He's snapping pictures. He's like, oh, wait till I show everybody. This is going to be my science fair project. I have an issue with that.
A little bit.
He didn't... What
is that
science experiment?
Yeah, that you found a UFO. It's not even a UFO, dickhead. It's a time machine.
Yeah, you don't even know what you got.
So check your fucking science, son.
Yeah, I was like, what is he even going to do? But thankfully, he quickly was like, I'm going to get more people. I'm going to go get my brother.
I'm going to go get my brother.
I'm going to tell him. I'm going to be back. You guys wait here. Like that
Don't
was
let
ever
them
happening.
move.
Like that was ever happening.
Yeah, right. Like,
They immediately were like, let's go.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. You can go hide at my place. And they drag that
and they start
time
walking
machine with their bikes. Even
as they're talking, though, I love they're talking about Rodney for a minute, and he says he's the enemy of decent people everywhere.
He's very obnoxious. I don't know about an enemy of decent people, though.
I don't know. That's a beautiful description. I love it.
Well, no, he does have like every freaking law enforcement ever written their phone number written on the wall. He might be an enemy of all decent people.
Now we see that they're just walking down the street with the
just
time machine
it behind him
on the it's so nuts. Like it's not a big deal.
Yep,
they see Chris's parents
hide. They all just kind of can't crouch behind it.
Yeah, the 3 time travelers crouch behind the time machine. So the time machine is still in plain sight.
View. They don't mention it at all.
No, because they're the cool parents.
They're dope parents, man.
Call me Bob.
I'm
and
Gina. Or Gene. Is it Gene?
Bob and Gene. They just bought a brand new Pacer X. Dope looking car.
Yeah, it's very wide.
Very wide. It wasn't, though. Did you see how tiny? That was like a compact.
That was a tiny ass car.
Man, the 70s were wild.
You know how I got this? Because I believe.
Believing in myself.
We just came from the B Inc. seminar. They're like in a cult.
Yes. Tommy is just like, dude, your parents are so crazy. Yeah, but it works out in my favor sometimes. Watch this. Hey, Mom, Dad, you care if I hide this time machine in our house?
That's fine. Do whatever you want. Chris is just like, man, I wish I had your fucking parents.
It comes in handy sometimes. Right? Then we see the agents.
Yeah, the CIA agents. The band says CIA.
I know.
I can't remember. It's
like a cleaning, I think.
Industrial cleaning or something like that.
But why are they here? Why are they already here?
So the radio said somebody says they saw a UFO, but this is before Snodgrass has called anybody. So I guess some random bystander just reported it.
I don't know.
There was a weird thing in the park, and the CIA just has people out there.
Yeah, so these are the Kipper
bumbling
kids,
agents.
The Kipper Kids performance art duo that they do. But yeah, they are hilarious every time we see them, I swear. Just bumbling agents. That's all they are, but they do it very well.
Yeah, they do. That's very good.
Then we get to go see the crash pad. They don't tell us this is what it's called until later, but later they tell us that that's what they call their little place. It's the crash
pad.
When we cut into it, we see they're showing David Cassidy their giant ode to Grand Funk Railroad. Like it's like a giant, it's like a school project wall of just Grand Funk Railroad. It's literally like, you know, like when you go to like an elementary school and the teacher the letter cutouts and spells their own things on. It is like they got those letters and spelled out Grand Funk Railroad. There's like newspaper clippings with different things, and they're like, he's like, so what can you tell me about these guys?
They're like, American band.
He's like, I mean, dude, they're a big piece of history. They're part of what makes America great. You could say they're the American band. You know, they come into your town.
They'll help you party down.
And then as soon as they finish saying the line, Chanel accidentally pushes the 8-track
tape
into the machine.
Song.
And right at that part, too.
We're
it's
an American band. We're coming to your town. We'll help you party down. We're an American band.
They go over and they stop it. Have you ever seen an 8-track player before?
Do you not have those in the future?
Which is triple funny at this point, right? Like it's like meta. It's meta on top of meta on top of meta, because in the 90s we already didn't have
8-tracks.
It is 8-track came out in the 70s to replace records, and immediately people were like, nope, we can do better than that.
Yep, we got cassettes.
Same thing, smaller,
holds more. No shit on an 8-track though. 8-track sounds good.
No, I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, it's meta upon meta, because at this point the kids listening don't even know what the fuck. I mean, I barely. I've seen 2 or 3 in my entire.
Had one. That's all the only reason I know
about time travel and we hear that Tommy and Chris, they're the real reason they're doing this. Yeah, it's fuck all to do with trying to help them save the timeline. They just love to have a good chance to give it to old
over Snodgrass.
I love that.
We don't want him to win the science fair. Well, that would just tickle us to death.
Then they were like, and just in general, win.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. Fuck him.
So yeah, if hiding you means he doesn't get what he wants,
we're on board. We're good. Let's do it.
I love that. And then this is the time where we get the 1 30-second payoff for the cash in the time machine.
Oh yeah, because they're like, man, we need like all kinds of money to.
Well, that's why they want to. That's the only reason they want to be. Well, no, before that, they said the only reason they wanted
because he doesn't deserve that $300.
And they were like, he goes $300. That's nothing. What this? And he opens it up, and they're like, what? He's like, money's useless in the future. Why do they have it?
It makes good wallpaper. It's nice and sturdy. It's got that cloth fiber weave.
I guess, dude. Well, and again, think about we know how money works, right? So this has to be money that was printed in the 70s.
Yeah, you couldn't have money
printed in 1995.
Yeah, they'd look at you like this is fake because it's 1976.
So there's a few issues, maybe.
A little bit, but it's okay. Nobody in the 70s was looking that hard. They're like, ooh, money.
But so at that point, though, we just know that now, no matter what goes on in the movie, money will not be an issue. And so the next thing they say is, if we're gonna hide you,
we gotta get you some disguises.
You need new threads, dude.
Gotta get some nice gear. I love this shit.
And so we immediately cut to, I love, before we even see anything, the dorky reference to the year. They throw an outfit across the screen and the price tag says 1976. Shut the fuck up.
In case you didn't know, in case you forgot in the last 10 minutes.
But then we're in the clothing store, and this is great. Before we address David Cassidy's outfit, yeah, especially David Cassidy's, this is what I want to point out. Anybody in this movie who was actually famous or from the 70s and still had their own clothes were told to bring it themselves and wear them. Wants me to point out two things. One, first off, as you had already pointed out, Sofia Coppola is listed as the costume designer. She did dick.
She didn't do shit. She just like, bring your own clothes. I'm getting a manicure that day.
But yeah, so all of the outfits, though, were just brought in. If you had them, you brought in your own. So the other thing I want to point out, other than that Sofia Coppola is a liar, David Cassidy's outfit that he puts on is definitely, that means it's one of his.
Yeah, he owns
this outfit is insane. So for the people who aren't watching, haven't watched, decided they're not going to watch, I'm going to try to really paint a picture for you here. It is blue jeans from head to toe, right? So we'll just start there. It's a blue, like we all
flared bell-bottom blue jeans.
And again, like we all remember this is the 90s. This is his from the 70s. But if you remember the 90s, like it looks like a dress shirt, but it's blue jean.
What is blue jean?
It's that, right? So it's blue jean from head to toe, but over the shoulder cap of the blue jean shirt is actually American flags. On the pants, the pockets, the sewn-on pockets, those are flags. And then maybe a streamline of flag down the side. So. Then the boots are the most 70s. David Cassidy fucking batshit insane thing.
Cowboy boots.
No, they are platform boots.
Platform, that's what I meant. Platform cowboy boots.
They're platform boots that are sequin rhinestone.
Right, just sparkling and USA up the side.
They've got flags, and one says rock. And one says roll.
Has the belt buckle, the big American flag belt buckle. He's head to toe.
This was his, and this is his, like, be inconspicuous outfit.
Right? This is how no one's going to notice me in this thing.
Because 76 was the bicentennial, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't think of that. That's right. No one probably would question it.
No, so again, like I told you, like, so much of this movie, like, just inspired me to have conversations with my parents as, like, a 7-year-old when I watched this. That was definitely one of them. And my dad was like, no, 76, like, it was just everywhere. Yeah, the bicentennial was a big fucking deal. They definitely hyped it up. The media fucking helped. He was like, it was a big thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He was like, so yeah, that's accurate. Like, somebody could have wore that outfit.
No one would have batted a fucking eye.
You'd have been looked at normal walking down the street.
Right? Like, you got a thumbs up even. Like, hey, man, hell yeah.
Way to go.
You barbecuing? We are.
No. But so, that wasn't a problem. But yeah, then we see the next outfit we see, though, right? Heinz 57 steps out of his.
I loved this. This was my favorite one.
Heinz 57 steps out of his looking straight up like he is a Heinz 57 bottle.
It's red.
It's red. He's got a yellow handkerchief. Heinz 57 has the little, the label has the little hint of yellow.
Little yellow in it.
He looks like a goddamn Heinz 57 bottle.
And it's 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, but he loves it. He thinks he looks pimp.
Yeah, I look great.
He's like, he's doing the like hand.
Looks like fucking Don Knotts on Johnny Carson. back in the 70s.
Oh, man.
It's like the exact same outfit.
As long as he's happy, he's happy.
Dude, you look great. I rock that shit, buddy.
And then the last one we see, Olivia Diabo, she steps out. She's in a purple
go-go dancer outfit?
It's crochet.
Is it crochet?
Well, not the top. The top is some kind of like satin or something.
Shit.
But the pants are crochet. You can like full whole crochet.
That'd be hot after a while.
It was a wild outfit. This, though, is the first time we get a glimpse of the fact that the people who wrote this were geniuses.
Yes,
like, for sci-fi, they are so ahead of their game, even for just sci-fi writing. Again, they do a bad job with some of their other sci-fi. But right now, we see her pull out
their communicator thing.
I don't know what to call it, because, again, I'm going to tell you, it is a cell phone.
It's a cell phone. It's exactly what it is.
They don't ever label what they call this device, but it is by all.
They didn't have cell phones in 1990, did they?
No,
I don't think
it certainly wouldn't have been this.
No,
they perfectly figured out what we would have as cell phones way before. Again, cell phones might have existed at this time, but it was definitely just calling, right? It was nothing else, and it was the size of a brick.
And have fun getting a signal.
But these things they're using are used to scan, take pictures,
text,
take notes, and call each other.
The only thing it's missing is a screen so you can see things.
And so this is a modern cell phone.
I'd like to have one. I like it.
The only two things they got wrong are that there's no screen and it looks like the goddamn Men in Black device. It looks like a red light should stick out from the top any minute. And she even holds it that way.
Yeah, right.
Because she's usually scanning. Everybody uses a feature of their own, right?
Yeah.
Heinz is usually taking notes.
And shit.
Well, he's taking notes.
His notes, and Adam just kind of calls and yells at people.
Yeah, he never uses his for anything other than calling.
It's like, where is everybody?
But yeah, she scans and takes pictures.
So she does more of what we would do with her
definitely
her phone, like we would.
During the scene, we see her. She's just kind of like casually walking around the store, like scanning clothing.
She picks
shit.
up the shoes, big platform. Look at this thing. I believe it's some kind of footwear.
Obviously,
it's like
looking at it, like fuck yeah,
but
it is.
Have fun trying to walk in it. That's the problem.
Now, I want to point out this is one of our other famous people. Did you notice who was the store attendant?
Zodiac girl,
Cheryl. Yeah. You know who she is?
Annoyed me. I hate these people. The chicks are like, "What's your sign?" And somehow arbitrary position of stars dictates how I am as a person.
Again, keep in mind you got to separate people from the character. She's not the character. She's a different person. Just keep in mind. This is Frank Zappa's daughter. This is Moon Unit Zappa. So again, I promise you, she is not the kind of person that she was playing.
So I was just as soon as she started being that way, I was just like, oh, I don't want to pay attention to you anymore.
Well, you should have. It's again sister to Dweezil and Ahmet.
These names.
Cheryl is there, and she gets chased off, but she is obviously the crush of our present day protagonist because they just walk at the end of the Zodiac conversation. Hey, Cheryl. She just blows them off immediately.
Just like, hey, how you doing?
And they're like, cold. Boner City.
Everything's city. Boner City. Cop City. Drag City. Suplex City. No, that's wrong.
All of this, most of this is all happening with Afternoon Delight playing in the background.
Yeah, that's what's playing in the background in the store is Afternoon Delight.
It was a very good scene.
We have disguises.
We learned Boner City. They're in their disguises. This is when this is when Adam 11 finally actively makes a move on Chanel.
Yeah, he invites her to go to Icky Icky Beach.
He says, when I'm finished with this, I've got these plans to go to Icky Icky Beach. But first we have to finish this little mission, and she gets pissed.
She's like, little mission? Saving the whole fucking world is a little mission to you?
Saving the whole time continuum? It's even bigger than the world. Again, he's back to kind of like he said in the beginning. Look, I just want to go wherever I want.
Right, like I don't care. Like, yeah, we're gonna like after
I do
we
this.
Do this
they give
mission,
me the chemical.
They give me the stuff. I can go wherever I want.
And she's like, oh, so that's why you did it. And then she gets super dramatic.
Like, what the fuck?
Was she trying to go for an award here? Like she was delivering these lines.
She was acting her ass off here. In a movie you didn't need to.
Over the top. Like I was just like, damn, I don't even know if that fits the character right now. Like, whoa, bitch, calm down.
I wrote down, I was like, she's being a little bit too much of a bitch about this.
Right.
Like, all he did was invite you on a beach trip when they finished. Not even like right now.
Yeah, he's not
like
trying.
When we're done, even. He's like, when we're done, we've saved everything.
Again, which is good.
We'll hop back in the thing.
He's at least in a positive mindset. He thinks they're going to succeed.
Yeah, we're going to win here. It's going to be great.
She's kind of the one that's in the negative.
Yeah, be optimistic, bitch. goddamn, just invited you to go hang out on a beach, drink some coconut fruity drinks, and get a sunburn, man. Like, what else do you want here?
But so luckily they wrap that scene up real quick, and we see them all walking down the street. All of them having problems with their 70s shoes, right? None of them can walk.
Stepping real fucking easy and shit. I mean, those boots, man, they had like fucking 6-inch heels. Well,
Heinz 57 had like the weird clog things, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like
those weird fucking. He had to run in those later too.
Know. We get a moment where we go see it's Rodney's house, right? Now's when we go see he's developing.
He's trying to develop his film, and he's making prank phone calls at the same time.
And then we finally get our introduction
for Leif Garret.
He busts in the door, fucks up the film.
Yep, exposes it to light. Where's my golden razor, you dork?
This is Eddie Trojan.
Eddie Trojan.
Again, so he's Rodney's.
That was a good name.
He's Rodney's older brother, but he wanted to be cool.
Yeah, Snodgrass isn't a cool name. My name's Trojan now, like the condom. I'm gonna get so much ass.
But he fucks up the evidence, and so now Rodney's got to find new evidence.
Yep, he's got to go get new evidence now. Poor guy. I feel so fucking bad for Snodgrass.
And now you guys know sometimes we follow these scene for scene, especially in this situation. It's very warranted because the cutting back and forth from people it adds to the comic effect.
It happens a lot in here too, so it's a little hard to follow.
But so now we immediately cut back to our group. They're in a restaurant and they're just all talking to each other, but the waitress is beside them. And so Heinz 57 is just mentioning that he needs the Constitution still. He hasn't found the Constitution. And so the waitress goes, I'm sorry. We're sold out of the Constitution burger right now. But if you try the Valley Forge and you substitute this and this and this,
it's kind of like it.
And so this is like, it presents to us this really fucked up, like, who's on first style joke.
Right.
Because she doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, but he thinks she does know what they're talking about. So he is very intently listening. He's taking notes about the Valley Forge.
Like, oh, really? Fucking Tommy just leans in. He's like,
he goes, no, when she finally stops after suggesting the Valley Forge, he leans in and he just goes, Valley Forge, Barf City.
She looks offended.
She did.
She's like, well,
I'm just trying to do my job.
My fucking job. I'm going to leave you all here and y'all fucking figure it out.
Right? Fuck y'all.
Fuck you, bitches. That's not what she said. She should have. She should have been like, fuck you people and walked away. Be nice to your waitresses.
So yeah, this is that spot where I said we're at this point we're like 45 minutes into the movie or something like that,
almost
right?
Over.
And right now they make a point that they still don't realize that they're in 1976. They're talking to each other and they mention it again. They're like 1776.
Yeah, no one corrected them.
No,
they didn't.
They're like, we need the. They're like, by the way, why are you here?
Sitting there.
They're like, by the way, why are you here? We need the Constitution. You can find that in the library.
Yeah, you can find that anywhere. Oh, really? And then they like, okay, you go. They send Heinz 57.
Dumbest idea in the world. You are time travelers. Well, and not just that you shouldn't split up. You shouldn't split up without a person from that time with you.
Tommy should have went with one dude, and they should have something.
This should never have happened the way it did.
Just go by yourself. I don't know where I'm going.
Not that it matters, because as soon as they get outside the door, the cops were there.
Yeah, as soon as they walk outside, there's cops fucking everywhere.
So they had to split up regardless of what the plan was.
Scatter.
And
they just run up over the car.
Yeah, Tommy, Chris, and Adam 11 jump over the cop car, and they're all running together their way. Olivia Diabo, Chanel is running down the street on the sidewalk.
Yeah, just booking it.
And then Heinz 57 turns around, runs back inside, and then starts moving shit to block the doorway so the cops can't come in. But obviously they can just step over it.
Yeah, they just step over it.
Oh my God.
The alley. He's running down the alley.
This scene is comic gold. This is another one of those like etched in my head things. I literally, for the most of my childhood, couldn't have told you where I knew this scene from. But I knew it. And I always thought it was the funniest fucking thing, because he's running down the alley. And this isn't even one of those like he put it there. It was just in the alley. There is a sign
with
for bananas, right? It's a sign for bananas. It's on the ground. And he steps over it.
Yep, no problem.
And the cops step on it and they slip on it like it's a banana peel.
Like a banana peel. I laughed my ass off. I had to stop the movie. I laughed for 5 minutes. It was so good. I was like, this is ridiculous. I fucking love it.
It's so ridiculous, but it is so funny. It's one of those things, and I am glad that you're telling me this, because like I laugh so much when I see it, but it's one of those things, I saw it when I was 7 the first time, so I don't know if it's just like associated
when
memory.
You're 7, it's probably even way more funnier.
But yeah, dude, like I can't describe why it's so funny, but it is. I can't even describe to you, like, because it's like when we say sign, we don't don't mean like in a grocery store, big sign. It looks like a traffic sign, right?
It does.
It looks like a diagonal shaped traffic sign.
Banana
but there's a
on
banana. It's like a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit sign, but it has a banana.
Yeah, it's super fucking with that, that thin metal.
It's
what
so
it looks
random.
like.
And again, though, they treat it like it is a banana peel.
Right. It was so sublimely ridiculous that
I'm literally tearing up.
I know.
Right now just thinking about it.
Fucking banana sign.
When I tell you people you need to watch this movie, I mean it. That's the end of our chase because that's the end of his part of our chase.
His part
right?
of the chase. Then it cuts to.
Then we see Chanel.
Yeah,
Chanel
she runs
slides into the
head shop.
And who's there?
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong.
Our boy, King Stoner himself.
Who is there to buy
a case of rolling papers, man. And let me check out that roach clip, man, with the one with the feather. I like that, man.
And that hash pipe.
And that
how about the nice bicentennial bong?
Dude, no, I wouldn't. And you know, why don't we fucking do this anymore?
So this bong, to paint a picture for everybody.
Tell them about the bong.
The bong. First off, it is a bicentennial bong.
It's a bicentennial bong. Very nice.
It's got our forefathers, which is a joke in the movie because it's one of the things she's looking for. She goes, our forefathers.
She gets excited. She's like, forefathers? She's like, yeah, they're right here, man.
But it's literally Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah, it's just Mount Rushmore.
It's a picture of Mount Rushmore, like
76 on it,
like a sticker that's across the top of this
plastic one.
It's a cheap, like it's the bong you think of when you think cheap plastic bong.
You have,
but. At the bottom, there is an addition to the base. Like normally, the base is literally just the circle that's at the bottom of the bong.
Yeah.
This is like a big tray.
It extends out from the hand where you hold it.
And out in front is literally a tray.
Where you can put your weed.
And break it up.
And put it
then put it into the...
Fucking genius. Why don't we do this?
And then Tommy Chong goes further.
Yeah, right. I agree with this
He says if they were smart, they would have put the picture down there.
On the tray.
So that way I could see it while I'm using it.
When you're getting wasted, man, you can check
and literally
it out.
he makes the perfect point too, because as he's saying that to her, he's demonstrating.
Yeah, he's
and
like
where is
it.
his hand? His hand is covering the other sticker.
The other sticker, yeah.
So
where
you can't see the forefathers at all.
He's a genius. Always listen to Granddaddy Chong. He knows what's up.
While they're in the bong shop, though, we get our real introduction to Eddie, right?
Yeah,
like the first time we see him, we don't know that he goes by Trojan. We don't know the full.
Just
all we know
brother.
The first time is that he's Rodney's brother. This is when we get to see who Eddie is.
And he's a fucking tool.
Well, I didn't say he was a good guy. I just said we get to finally know who Eddie is. All right. So Eddie Trojan comes in, introduces himself.
Totally
Eddie
cock blocks Chong.
To the point that Tommy Chong calls him on it.
Yeah.
He is literally like, damn, dude, fuck you, Snodgrass.
Right?
And he's like,
fucking
Trojan,
walks.
man. He's like, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself.
You can call him dickhead for all I care, and fucking walks.
When he rolled in, he immediately was like, don't go smoke with him, because Tommy Chong had her unlocked.
Yeah, he
she
did.
was about to go to the van.
Dude, man, fuck. Asshole. Though, to be fair, Chong didn't really fight for her either. He just, as soon as he showed up,
because he's
because
he's a real stoner.
Yeah, total pacifist.
He wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? The stoner is just like, look, chick, if you want to come smoke with me, I'm smoking.
Yeah, if you don't want to come, that's on you. I'm still
smoking. If anything, Tommy Chong was probably being the realest Tommy Chong in that moment.
Probably. That wasn't acting at all. He's like, this is exactly how I handle bitches.
This is what I would
smoke?
do.
No, fuck you then.
Yeah, well then I'm done and I'm cool.
I'm done.
You hang out with Eddie Trojan.
Right. That's your scene, man. Have at it.
So yeah, Eddie Trojan swoops in and steals her straight from Tommy Chong.
Right.
It is a dick move. Now, but in all fairness, she didn't make the decision based on anything other than she was trying to do what she thought would help her stay away from the police.
Yeah, because the cop walks in.
And if you were to look between Eddie Trojan and Tommy Chong, Eddie Trojan's probably less likely to get you arrested.
Yeah, because they're just going to follow Tommy Chong out to his van. It's like, yeah, this guy's clearly
Eddie Trojan looks like a clean, again, for the 70s. He's a tool, but he looks like a clean cut, all-American. Again, he looks like John Travolta and, he's rocking the fucking Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, yeah.
He totally looks like he's just disco dancing it down the street. Right. So again, not the guy the cop is probably busting. Tommy Chong looks like a fucking deadhead from the 60s walking the streets in 1976.
Yeah, it's probably a much better decision on her part to get away.
Yeah.
Not to have fun, but to get away.
While she was in there, though, she was taking pictures again.
Yeah, she was. She was using her
little
camera,
thing.
her phone, her fucking cell phone, because that's what it is.
Taking pictures of the roach clips.
The roach clips and the bongs and shit. She's like, yeah, we'll bring this to the future. This
the
will be
bong,
very
especially,
useful.
because, again, he said forefathers, and so she was like,
right there, these guys.
these are important. These are artifacts.
Artifacts.
This is before that scene, but later we get the scene.
We get the artifacts.
Artifacts. These are artifacts that they need to find
to help them
to solidify the future.
We gotta learn new things. We've stagnated to the point where we're just wasting away.
We can definitely wrap that up.
Yeah.
We'll go.
She leaves with Eddie.
We'll get more to them in a little bit, but just know that she has definitely successfely evaded the police.
Yeah,
because that's all we're worried about right now.
Yeah, we gotta get away from the cops. Everybody's getting away from police.
Let's go back to Heinz 57. Like we said, he made it out of the alley, and for the most part,
he's
is
still
away
running,
from the police.
though.
But he is still running. He's still scared.
Well,
he
naturally.
happens to run past a guy who sees him and notices that he's maybe running, and the guy says, hey, I bet you I can help you out.
I got a nice place for you to hide in here. I got
Sign right behind the guy. Live nude girls for a quarter.
A fucking quarter, man. That is cheap.
Well, this is back in the day, dude. This is like one of those glass, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
where
you drop the quarter in and it
slides do
He goes inside. You remember the reason he goes inside? What was the name of the place? House of Liberty.
Yeah, it was House of Liberty, and he's just like,
and she's Lady
do you know
Liberty.
Thomas Jefferson? I know Lucas Jefferson.
Luther.
When he gets inside and shit, and she's just like, so what are you into? He's like, I need the Constitution, and that sets her off. She just starts immediately into this giant lecture about she's clearly putting herself through college. That is why she's working here.
Yeah, he was like, what do you know? No, he mentions Constitution.
Yeah,
she goes off on her tangent. She was like, the Constitution.
It started with the Gulf of Tonkin resolution and all this other
because she's going with recent, right? Like she's hitting him with like recent stuff. She's hitting him with
all that
Vietnam shit. And she's like, this is the Constitution today means dick because of these things.
That's her stance is basically like it's all just a big fucking joke because of this shit, and he's just feverishly taking notes.
He's like, holy shit, I went to the right place. This is the House of Liberty.
Yeah, she knows what she's talking about. I just wrote my notes. I was like, this poor stripper's clearly putting herself through fucking college.
But so this is officially he has made his escape, right? No, so we can leave him.
No, I thought the cops bust in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he has to run again.
He has to run one more time. I'm sorry, I forgot. And then he shows up at the
B Inc.
But we'll save that. There wasn't much left. That's why I thought it was.
Yeah, they bust in.
They bust in and he just runs. So yeah, he gets away. I'm just excited because I want to get to Adam 11 because this is my favorite scene in the movie. Now we finally see what Adam 11 and Chris and Tommy have been up to.
Yeah, they've been. I just wrote my notes of like they've been running.
They have been
this whole time.
That's literally what I have. I said
it's been like 30 minutes.
He's been running. They've been on foot while the cops have been in cars.
Whole fucking time.
That's insane. But that's the setup we get. That's exactly what supposedly has happened here. And so we see them run and jump over another cop car, and then they're still running, and then the cops
try to stop.
He tries to stop because there's
a
guy in the middle of the street. Almost,
just barely.
It's like
it stops an inch and a half.
And we hear Tommy and Chris like, "Oh no, that's not what kind of car I think it is it?"
It is.
Oh,
everybody run!
Literally, you get David Cassidy.
It's a gremlin, in case anybody's wondering.
No. It's a Pinto. And that's Pintos all blew up.
If you hit that thing, it exploded. I've seen videos of like crash test footage and shit, and it did. If you hit it at the right angle, that thing exploded.
Again, you had to hit it though. That's what the funny part of this is. Like they didn't hit it.
No, it is still
Adam 11 even says that. He goes, it didn't even touch it.
It doesn't need to.
I had to ask my dad. This is one of those, again, like at 7-year-old Shane had to be like, Dad, what is really? And he was like, look, they're a little exaggerating, but I mean, they were known.
Those things would blow the fuck up.
Dad was like, I think what he told me is literally like you could drive one down the street almost like you were in an ambulance, right? Like people were going to get out of your way because they didn't want the danger of if you hit them or they hit you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I might be worth driving one just for that. Like beep, beep, get out of my way. Pinto coming through.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Like again, like I do believe when I told you about this movie, this was
what you said when you brought it up the first time. This was the scene.
Because we saw something.
We mentioned something about a car blowing up, and it just triggered you into this whole thing, and you were like showing me this scene on YouTube and shit. And we're like, well, that's it. We got to do this fucking one.
Because it's fun. Like,
it's funny.
The scene is so fucking hilarious, dude.
Everybody
they're diving.
They're diving for cover.
The cop is like, ah! It's beautiful. It wasn't even, the funniest part is it wasn't
not even a big boom.
It was
it's
a very controlled explosion in the car.
They just kind of poured some lighter fluid on the car and lit it on fire. It wasn't even like a big, like Michael Bay explosion.
Again, all of these were choppy scenes, so we just kind of pushed them all together to make sense of them real quick. So where do you want to go from here? You tell me. Which one do you want to do next?
Let's go back to Eddie and Chanel 6 and the do the hustle
in their car. Well, so now we get to see his car, right?
Yeah, oh, dude, sick car. It's like a fucking 60s Corvette, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was, but
it was dope. I didn't get a good shot of the front of it. They only showed like the back side of it.
Don't mock us if you know the car, or we should know. Hey, we're not from that era,
and I'm not a car guy.
All I know is it's dope.
It looked sick, and I want one.
And it has an 8-track player.
Yes, and a big 4-barrel or whatever the fuck he says later when they have to go fast.
But he's like, "Why don't you come back to my place?" And she's just like, "Okay, it helps me stay away from the cops. Let's go to your place."
He's just like, "Fuck yeah,
I'm the
man."
Because he's already got to kiss her because of the cops. So
he's like, well, he even asks her. He's like, "Why do you want to come back to my place so bad?" And she's just like, "I find you fascinating." I guess.
She's just trying to whatever.
Fool.
We get back to his place, and again, it's his parents' place. His room it's outrageous. It's horrible.
You ever see that movie, The Soul Man?
Yes, it's outrageous. It's horrible especially because it's his parents, and it's definitely tacky. But I gotta say,
of a man who desperately wants to bring a woman home.
But I gotta say, at the same time, it's kind of sick.
It's kind of cool, right?
I kind of like it.
It's total douchebaggery in 1976, but here in our era, it's kind of dope.
The throwbackness of it is kind of
nostalgia.
It's
kind of sick. I like it.
The weird like
light photos of all the different weird sex positions. I'm like, I'd put that in my room.
I would put that in there for total irony.
That goes in the bathroom, right?
It's not there because I'm like, I'm that kind of guy. It's just there for the total irony of it, right?
Thing.
Yes.
Look how cringe it is, right?
I loved it as much as I know I wasn't supposed to.
Right.
I loved it.
I thought it was pretty cool too.
She is now though essentially just stuck.
Yeah, she's just trapped there.
She's trapped in Eddie's room. He's playing the hustle,
teaching her how to dance. She's getting it.
We can slide on past. Again, we've spent a lot of time going over some of these.
They dance and they do it for a while.
Yeah, they're stuck there.
You want to go back? You want to go back over to
Adam 11 and them at the crash pad? So they hit the crash pad. Adam 11, Chris and Tommy, they hit the crash pad. They're trying to figure out what they need to do next. Because again, they just finally left the police. They got some snacks,
Sprites and Pringles and all this other stuff because
snowballs
because they had to gather artifacts. That was
and
like
he
Adam's
said
job.
Our food artifacts too.
Because I totally just raided my parents' pantry, dude. I got all kinds of stuff.
It's like no,
that's fine.
I'm not
shit.
hungry.
And then the smoke starts.
Tang? What's Tang?
Oh yeah, and then he explains to the astronauts and stuff. He's like, yeah, they did all kinds of cool stuff. They landed on the moon, put up a flag, played golf, bounced around, and Adam just kind of looks at him and is like, oh, it didn't really help.
He sees the pop rocks. Right, this is where he picks up the pop rocks
and shit.
He's like drinking. He looks at it. He's like, and he grabs the soda because they left the room for a second. He's about to drink, and they were like, "No, stop!" Like 10 kids have already died that way, man.
Yeah, man, your stomach explodes, dude. It's fucking brutal.
Carbon City.
This is where they notice the smoke coming out of the time machine, right?
Yeah. And so they realize again. We kind of glossed over it earlier, but Snodgrass had snuck in
and stole the battery. They call it something. I can't.
It's the tetracell.
The tetracell. There we go.
Yeah, we glossed over it. It was happening during the whole crazy.
It's a 2-second scene. He breaks in.
It's like right after the clothing and right before the craziness with the cop chase.
Yeah, everybody running from the police.
And so we just had a lot of excitement going on, guys. And again, like Bo said, it's 2 seconds. He steps on a mousetrap.
Yep, that's it. And then he opens the thing, sees it, and is like, "Oh, I'll take this."
Doesn't take all the money.
No, ignores that, but takes the weird box.
Yeah.
Ball thing.
But so they notice it smoking. I mean, Adam 11 is like, "Oh shit, that's not good. The tetracell's gone.
Blah blah blah.
We can't
bullshit.
time travel now." And then he's like, "We need some more of that chemical. The tetrahydras. I don't even remember it. Again, guys, I wrote it in my notes. This is why I told you earlier because it was on my notes and I knew I wouldn't remember it by the time we got here.
He's going through all that technobabble shit, and Tommy just stops and goes, "Wait, you're gonna be tested on this?"
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, no." But I mean,
I've heard that word before, though.
Yeah, he goes, I have
whatever
heard that. And he's like, no, you haven't.
No, you haven't. That's a very rare element in my time period.
No, I swear I have. Then he goes,
eye drops.
It's in all eye drops now.
And then they, like,
now
recite
and they flip open a
now
magazine.
with whatever.
Yeah, now it's tetrahydrolazone or whatever it is, guys. Again, sorry.
Tetrahydrochloroformalorum.
I wish I would have put it in my notes 17 times now. But so they were like, I told you it is. And he's like, oh, that's great. Now, though, if only we had some carbon dioxide to help something to be a catalyst.
A catalyst, yeah, there it is. He's like, the pop rocks.
No, they didn't even say it. They were like, I don't know. And he goes, Carbon City, guys.
Right, holds it up because he looked at the ingredients before he almost died.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, we totally missed that.
Oh, shit,
then.
yeah, we did. We skipped a whole fucking thing of them going and chasing down dude. After he steals the battery, they go chase after Snodgrass.
We are definitely sorry, guys. Again, it's not like super important.
It's because it cuts back and forth so much.
It's because, like we already mentioned, there were a lot of back and forth cuts. They realized it was
the battery's
missing.
gone, so they go chase down Snodgrass.
We didn't forget. That part happens here. When they realize it's missing, they immediately are like, we'll go get him. And then they immediately come back and tell him
that it blew up. Okay.
But it is because during that, we cut to at least 2 other people and then cut back to it. So we're fine.
Okay, it's not that bad then.
No, we didn't miss anything. Once they realize it's missing, they realize Snodgrass must have stole it. So they're like, oh, we know where he'd go.
He'd go to the science fair.
So they get down there. And of course they see him.
Yeah, he's there. He's got it. And he starts to run away. He knocks over the frogs.
And they're like, oh no!
Toad block!
Great line. And then we get a chase.
And I want to know how they got the frogs to stay just in that line like that.
Do you really? They probably
glued the poor bastards to a stick. Oh, now I'm sad.
But so then we get the crazy chase. Like they jump over some backyard ramps.
He jumps on like a big wheel and shit and is going. Then we get the speed racer.
Did that big wheel look like it was made out of solid wood to you too?
It had to have been to hold him up. Those things are cheap plastic.
Well, in the 70s it probably wouldn't have been, but it looked like wood. Yeah, it looked like somebody made a big wheel in their backyard. And so then he crashes it though into the fireworks stand. We get our director,
Lucas Reiner.
Yeah, Lucas Reiner was the Uncle Sam guy who was selling fireworks
and runs the fuck away because it blows up. And so no more battery, no more Tetracell. It's all gone.
And so then we did get a little ahead of ourselves when we started to tell you guys the chemical stuff. Yeah. That conversation happened now.
After the thing blows up.
And so they came back and they're like, oh shit.
It blew up. We're sorry.
And so that's where they were when he ate the pop rocks. This is why we missed it. Yeah. Right? So again, we
wanted to get to the pop rocks.
But we're there now, guys.
Yeah. Then he's doing the pop rocks.
We barely missed a little bit.
Stop him. Yeah. And tell him the battery's been exploding.
And then he realizes, oh shit, we can make pop rocks and this and eye drops and we can make a battery. It's all good.
It'll be all good.
We'll need lots of it.
Yeah. They're like, well, that's no problem. We just go to the freaking drugstore and grab all kinds of it. And the pop rocks too. They're probably in the same fucking aisle.
Oh, definitely. And so then the very last thing before we leave them, since we've already set this up, he's like, we can't leave this here.
Yeah, we got to move the time machine.
He stole the battery and we already have to deal with that. And they're like, we got an idea.
We'll move it to the science fair.
Hide it in plain sight.
Hide it in plain sight.
Well, plus it's the science fair. If he's seen touching it there,
that's our project.
He gets in trouble, right? It works. It was good.
They were smart there. It was a good idea.
Chris and Tommy are smarter than we give them credit for.
Even though they signed some piece of paper at some point in the movie, the idiots, the 2 idiots or something. I'm like, you're being a little mean to yourself, guys.
All right, so at this point, I think we are safe to go ahead and do Heinz 57
and the B Ink.
The B Ink. Like we said earlier, Heinz, while running away from the police, he knew he needed to go to a library. They told him there was a library at the school. Yeah, so he shows up to the school. Apparently, the school also sells out their auditorium space
for weird little seminars for people to do.
For cults.
Cults? This is definitely a cult. This is a cult.
Well, this is all about beism and being.
You have to be.
You have to believe. This is Rob Reiner.
This is to believe.
Yeah, this is the Rob Reiner moment right here.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's awesome.
He is very believable.
I feel like he's done this before.
As soon as he walked in the door, did you see the bodyguard?
Dude, he's in
this cool, fun rainbow shirt, but he looks like he's gonna beat the shit out of you.
He's like 6'7". He's huge and bald. I'm all happy smiles, but I will kill you. Evil Mr. Clean. That's what he was.
Once he gets in, though, he immediately tries tries to stand back up
Yeah,
because he was like, "This is the wrong
I don't
place."
need to be here. This is not where the Constitution
Well,
is.
wait, no, wait. Did he stand up then? I don't think he stood up then. He stood up after the weird lady started talking to him.
Yeah, the lady, she's just like, I've been here. He's gonna blow your mind.
I shit myself.
I shit my pants
At the last one.
And the next day, I got a raise.
That, I think, is the moment where he was like, I think I need to go. And so he tried to stand up and leave, and he gets singled out.
The dude's
Mind you, while this is going, before he stands up, the dude had already been telling everybody that the mantra they needed to repeat was,
I am an asshole. Say it with me, Shane. I am an asshole.
So that's the mantra, right? That is already the mantra. When Heinz 57 tries to leave, he tells him, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can only leave once you get it.
When
if you don't get it,
you can leave. And
so
until
then he
you
goes,
get it, I'm going to call you Heinz asshole.
is that supposed to be an insult? They're all
an asshole.
An asshole.
So go ahead and call me an asshole.
Right?
I'm still going to
very confused by this guy.
Right.
I don't think he understands his own point.
It's all bullshit just to get money. That's all it is. And he's good at it. He's very good. He speaks very well.
I mean, I would have totally been on board.
The I am an asshole thing. I'd be like, you have my interest. I am an asshole.
Now, while all this has been going on, one of the things that has happened is Rodney returns home. When Rodney returns home, he busts in on his brother,
who's with the alien. So he thinks. She's not really an alien, but he's convinced they're aliens in a UFO. And he's like, it's her. I'm going to call the CIA.
Which he does.
And he has them all. FBI, CIA, ATF, all of them on a fucking wall.
And then they show up. Again, guys, I want to point this out. This is the 70s. He calls from a landline to someone else on a landline. And then the agents who are in the van, which we saw no radio equipment on, show up.
Yep.
How did that happen?
Who
called who? How'd that work?
I don't know.
But so shortly after he makes the phone call, he barges in on his brother again, and he's like, I told you before, that's the girl.
Yep.
He's got the agents with him, and the agents are like, we're going to get her. And then Eddie says,
this is
the fuck you are. Yes.
the best.
Kung Fu fighting starts
Everybody
playing.
was Kung Fu fighting.
He does a jump front kick.
Jump kick.
Doesn't do anything.
Double
He's
punch.
just doing it. He's just doing it to set the scene. Then
Accidentally knocks Rodney out.
He swings, knocks Rodney out, rolls backwards, then rolls forwards into a double punch into their gut.
And down they go. They just stand there, too. They're just kind of like, what the fuck's he doing? Boom.
I love that fight.
It was so good.
It's beautiful. That's the only reason I wanted to stop Heinz, because this had to happen.
I'm sure
we'll
it
set up where they go. Oh, it definitely did in the movie. After that happens, they bolt. And again, you'd think they'd be bolting and trying to go, because at this point she's already gotten the phone call. She knows they need to be.
Adam's already called. Like, we need to go to the science fair. And we've only got so much time.
Right. So that's part of why I went ahead and broke it up here, because during this moment, everybody in their respective places know we need to be at the science fair.
He's called Heinz, Chanel.
So she knows that. She hops in the car with Eddie. Where do they go?
Dance hall.
Oh,
discotheque. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So not the science fair.
No, he thinks she's such a good dancer that they're going to enter a dance contest. That's where his brain's at. But he wants to dance.
The fate of the future.
He has to dance.
Okay, fair enough. fair enough. Now we'll get back to Heinz. Heinz gets the call. He needs to leave. He already knows. He's tried to leave once.
Yeah, and just the lady next to him just happens to take her coat off.
And when she takes her coat off, she is wearing
a Constitution shirt.
It is literally the shirt with the Constitution on it.
Yep.
Don't ask me to tell you what wraps around what.
How you would read this, but it's got bits of the Constitution.
But supposedly, according to her and the movie, the entire Constitution is readable
on it. You can read the whole thing, is what she says.
And so he says, I need that shirt.
I will give you $1,000.
No, he starts with 500.
Yeah, he starts with
she was
5.
like, she goes, they're on sale over here.
Buy your own.
Buy 20. And he says,
I'll give you 1,000.
And she, again, we don't even hear her response. We just see a cutaway back to him.
He's got the shirt, and she's got the money, and
she's like taking it off and counting money, like
right, like yeah.
And then he immediately is like shoves it inside his jacket.
Gets up to leave, and Dick Cole fucking tries to stop him again. He's like, Heinz, asshole, where are you going?
I thought we had this talk already.
Right, and stuff.
If you don't get it, you can't leave.
I liked this. He completely shuts him down.
Well, he throws his own shit back at him.
He does.
He's like, I do believe that the kind of stuff you're trying to do isn't like freedom, like you said, but it's like this thing I've heard someone talk about before.
Watergate.
I believe you are acting like the people in Watergate and half of the crowd. And I will give the dude running the seminar. He is a master. He thinks on his toes. He was like,
let's use it.
He goes, bam, you got it. You get it. You're better than everybody else in this room.
The guy who came in here was this way. Now he's that way. Everybody give him applause.
That's the power of me and my speaking.
And my stupid little
Now, if
necklace.
only you guys were as good as
that
him.
guy. Everybody round of applause for Heinz, asshole.
And he gets to leave.
With the fucking Constitution, mission accomplished. We're out of here. He needs a vehicle, right? He goes outside and, hey, look, it's Bob and Jean. Hi, Bob and Jean. The dude in there said, I could just take stuff, so can I have your car?
Now, my problem with this is he says that, right?
Right.
And they act like they met him. They didn't. Where was he when Bob and Jean were there?
They hadn't got there yet.
No, he was hiding behind the time machine.
Yeah, that's right.
When we saw Bob and Jean the first time, which is the only time he would have met them.
They should have no idea who the fuck he is because he was hiding.
But they act like
they know
I remember seeing you earlier.
Oh, it's fine. I do like how she's like, you think he'll bring it back? And the dude's like, that's not the point.
Yeah, so they totally just give away their brand new car.
I mean, cool, man. If you're easy going like that, I guess.
And so now we see time is still ticking down.
Yeah, we have the little timer in the spaceship
girl
keeps timing down.
Chanel finally gets back to Adam and is like, look, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. I'm stuck at this dance hall thing. I told the dude how important it is. He won't take me. I don't know what's going on.
CIA agents are fucking after me.
They're all
shit.
over the place. And so
come get me.
Adam Levin's like, I got to go. He literally spouts off a mouthful of jargon to the, are we going to be tested on this stoners?
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys got it? Fate of the world and the future is in their hands.
Like, I think I got it.
And so he runs outside and he's like, I got to save her. I got to do this.
Right.
And he jumps in the first vehicle he can find.
I love it.
What was it?
It's a shiny purple dune buggy, and I want one so fucking bad.
Shiny purple doesn't even give it enough credit.
It's like sparkly
it's
shiny.
The metallic.
Yeah.
It's that 80s, 90s metallic paint job type.
I want it so bad. I would cruise around in this thing. It was so cool.
He climbs into this thing with his rock and roll boots. His fucking American flag
t-shirt.
Like, this is the most
doesn't get any better, dude.
70s-rific thing I've ever seen. And on his way to go save her, what happens? He sees Icky Beach.
And he runs into the
he gets out of the car.
Gets out of the car. He's all happy.
He's enjoying the view.
It's so pretty.
Someone throws trash at his fucking feet. And right when that happens, who walks up to him?
Cue crying Indian.
Crying Native American. It doesn't matter because this guy's not even actually Native American.
I was like, he's Italian, isn't he?
Yeah. Iron Eyes Cody. That's who it is. But yeah, again, this guy is not a Native American. No. He's not he should not be here. This is before people knew that about him.
Yeah.
Though.
We've all seen the commercial.
Yeah, exactly. If you were alive, you've
seen that commercial.
People pollute the land, tear down face.
Teardrop.
That's exactly what happens.
He's just like, in the future, man, there won't be anything left.
How'd you know?
How'd you know?
At this point, we hear from our narrator computer 7 minutes. 7 minutes till the end of the world.
That's all.
I forgot to mention this as we were going through the movie, but we kept getting notifications from the computer. One of them was that the birth rate had lowered, right?
And then the suicide rate has exceeded the birth rate.
No, that was the second one. The first time it was just that the birth rate lowered. And then it was that the suicide rate was also above the birth rate. So it's equal. It's doubly as bad.
Yeah, it's
at that
super
point.
bad at this point.
And now we hear 7 minutes. They have 7 minutes till their 12 hours are up. At this point, with 7 minutes to go, we have Adam 11 is nowhere near either of them.
Yeah, nowhere.
Heinz 57 is on his way back in the Pacer, but then he gets stuck
in traffic.
The gas crisis. People are stuck in line trying to get into the gas station. And Chanel is still stuck at the dance hall.
Yep.
7 minutes.
It's not a lot of time.
Who do you want to go with first? You tell me.
I want to go with my boy Heinz.
So Heinz 57 is honking his horn. He's being screamed at by a fat dude on a motorized tricycle.
It looks like John Popper from
He looks
Blues
like John
Travelers.
Popper. If you've ever seen the TV show Brotherly Love
On the Disney Channel?
He's the fat mechanic who worked at the Lawrence Brothers garage.
Yeah.
But he does indeed.
Dude, he could pass easy.
Look like John Popper.
I thought that's who it was.
Heinz 57 though masterfully handles the situation.
Yeah, he does.
Dude punches the glass. He drops
just
to his
ducks out the way.
Heinz 57 grabs his keys, hops on. He
steals
takes
it.
He's on his way.
He looks badass
He
too,
does.
riding this thing. He's just
it
like,
fits.
yeah.
Even with the
weird
red
undersized
jumpsuit.
suit, still works. He
So
looks
now we don't have to
badass.
worry about Heinz anymore. Heinz is on his way.
On his way. He'll be there in a fucking minute.
And then we cut back finally to the dance hall. She's in the contest.
Yeah,
they have 5 minutes to go.
And she's out there dancing in front of everybody.
Dancing in the contest.
Right, her and Eddie Trojan.
And then finally, Adam Levin kicks the fucking door open. Agents all over the place.
Right,
They're literally like flirting with fucking people and shit in the building.
Agents are up there fucking flirting with bitches in the
I was like, she couldn't escape.
They
She
weren't
couldn't
paying
escape.
any attention to you. That guy is talking to that chick. That guy's getting a drink.
She was just so full of it. She could have gotten herself out of it.
Dance.
But yeah,
That's all
he
it
starts
was.
climbing across. Totally Back to the Future 2 style here, right?
Just
Did you
across
not
the
feel that?
rafters.
Did it
That's
not
what he was
feel like that?
Completely what he was doing.
The only difference is that Michael J. Fox was smart enough to go on top.
On top, he's like monkey climbing.
This guy
from
is
the
dead.
bottom.
He's treating it like monkey bars.
Yeah.
Insane. Because he's also like a foot and a half, story and a half up in the air.
Yeah, he's pretty far up there.
But he saves the day.
Yep.
He gets the girl. Eddie's insulted.
I mean, he did just kind of drop out of the fucking sky and take her.
And he goes, "What? What about me?" And she's like,
was it something I said?
She says, "It's not you, Eddie.
It's not you. You're really nice." It's like, oh, fuck you.
God
damn it. I had
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Nobody is at the building. They're still across
Poor Chris
fucking
and
town.
Tommy.
We never even saw the beach until he drove to get her, right? So they were nowhere.
They
it's
forgot.
the other side of town.
They forgot. They had to throw the beach scene in.
Well, no, I know that, but
shit.
my point is just how far away he drove.
No way you're doing it in 2 minutes. No way. And poor Chris and Tommy, they're in the science fair having to try and cover the whole time.
Well, and the teacher who's in charge is now like, you guys are next, so you better know what you're going to tell me.
Explain your shit. What are you doing here?
And I love
it. I dropped some pop rocks.
They're asking what it is, and Chris is trying to stammer his way through it, and Tommy just fucking goes, "It's time travel."
Time travel. We
He
built
just
a time
blurts it
machine.
out like just instantly, and then the teacher doesn't even question it. He just goes, "That's cool.
cool.
All right,
Like,
let's hear more about. I can't wait to hear more about that."
Let's see how you did that.
I was like, "What?" This is again one of those movies where the system of disbelief in the characters
You just
is just
gotta
like,
ignore it.
What?
Just let it go.
Then we just happen to have a happy reunion moment
Like
outside.
with 30 seconds to go, everybody shows
They
up.
show up. They do their weird wave thing.
High wave thing, whatever it was.
And then they run inside. And as soon as they run inside, Chris and Tommy are like, "Sweet, get
Dude,
inside."
fuck, I had nothing left here.
I
Take
think the battery's
battery.
good.
It should be fine. They go and
they
plug
hop
it in,
and then they start making their announcement to the
literally
teacher.
like counting down while they're doing it.
And they're like, "We can now show you guys the wonder that is time travel," and it works.
Making noises. He's like, "Now we have noise to go with our smoke, smoking Loomis foil."
And so the machine starts to have a problem though.
Oh, it's not working. Oh my god, what are we doing? It clicks down to 1 and he goes,
wait,
smack.
And it starts to, everything's okay. They're about to close the door. And I love this one moment. Right before they leave, we see Heinz 57 drop to Chris and Tommy. The combo, weird wave, peace sign. I was like, oh shit, man.
The future's set. That's
right?
all. That's
we
all
know
they needed.
everything's good now.
Right? We got the peace sign wave thing. It's good.
And now our intrepid time travelers finally make their way home.
Yeah, because he Fonzied the
Fonzie's the
he
machine.
just smacks it and it
Goes
works
there.
magically at the last second. Off we go into the future. I love this when they get there. He opens the time machine and he just
shoves out the boot.
The boot and SADUY. DAY.
The Bay City Rollers?
Yeah, it was great. I was like, yes, that is exactly how we end this fucking movie. And all the gray goes away. It all gets all fucking colors.
Now I know that
I
know that they're insinuating it was a time jump.
Yeah, it's
right?
a time jump, but
And
it
we're just
happens
seeing
instantly.
I always like to believe that it's literally science magic. You know, like he shoves the boot out,
and the time continuum
change.
just changes.
Again, I know that's not true, but I just that's the way I like to. That's the way my heart. That's the way I believe it in my heart.
That's how it works.
Because is the way visually it happens.
Yeah, because it's so quick. It's just like all from grades, like everybody's colors. Everybody's wearing like cool 70s clothes.
It's like the 70s on, it's like times 10, right?
Yeah.
It's not even the 70s anymore.
We're going to crank the color. We're going to crank the weird poofiness. And
giant statues, color painted everywhere. They're snowball. They're in the parade. There's a giant oversized snowball, pink snowball.
The Lady Liberty, did they go back and get the stripper?
No, it's just a different person.
Okay, it looked a lot.
He was setting the point that there is now a woman whose job is Lady
to
Liberty.
do that. Yes. Okay, I thought it was the same chick. I was like, did they go back and get her or something?
And then the last thing we see at Heinz 57, he's teaching a class.
Teaching class. Everybody's got their...
Well, we don't even see that everybody's in the shirt yet. We just hear him reading the Constitution. We assume that maybe he had done the smart thing.
Transcribed it onto paper.
No. We then see it zoom out from him a little bit, and he's like, if you follow down your left sleeve, you'll see. And we see this whole class of kids and adults.
Yeah, all of them. Just reading, they all have the shirt and shit.
Oh my God.
That is so hard to read.
Again, because remember, at this point, they still never knew they went to the wrong time. So
I guess books didn't survive into the future either, I guess.
Because so think about that. That means that as far as he's concerned, that's how it's meant.
That's how it's supposed to be read.
That's how it's meant to be done.
You read it from left shoulder to right shoulder, right? That's how you're supposed to do it.
I'm tearing up from the laughter again, man. This movie is so funny. Oh, we got one last line. We get to see Chanel and Adam 11. They're officially dating now.
I liked
they're
his
together.
Like silver.
He's wearing another
collar with the weird hat.
He's wearing the hat again.
So good.
This one's colorful though, right?
Yeah, it's super colorful.
It's got the silver reflective on it and shit too. Yeah,
almost. Yeah.
And so she's like, you know what I think we can do? I think we should make a visit to Icky Icky Beach. And Adam, I guess, is supposed to finally have learned the most important lesson of everything. And he's like, no, we'll stay here.
Why leave?
But did he learn a lesson? It's just that it's now different. He just wanted different. He got different.
That's all he needed. He's like, I just needed some fucking color. Some pink, some blue, something. It didn't have fucking gray. That was my problem.
Right? It didn't have to be Icky Icky Beach. That's just the thing he had a fucking postcard for.
I had a picture. It had color on it. That's what I wanted. But that's it. That's the movie.
Before we wrap everything up, I want to ask you, did you stay for the post-credit scene?
There's a post-credit scene? Shut the fuck up.
You know the tray full of food, right?
Yeah.
It is literally just an ad-lib scene of them explaining to him in character what all of the food things are.
God damn it. I
gotta go back.
I gotta go back. No, shit.
It's so funny listening to them. They're like,
innovators
it's
again.
just a cup of noodles.
They're being innovators, man. They brought up the post-credit scene.
That's exactly what I said.
Fucking marveling before Marvel.
That's what I said. I said, shut up. There's a post-credit scene.
Damn it. It's I wouldn't have thought, because it's a movie from back then. I'm like, we didn't do that shit until the 2000s.
All right, guys.
Homework, I guess.
We are finished with the movie. Again, we're you hear us, we're laughing, we're having a great time. It's funny, it was lighthearted, it was a good thing to step away from the last one to be a little bit lighter with our beer. Again, this beer was good.
It was good.
It's stronger than the last one.
Stronger than the last one.
Flavors definitely got a little bit more. It's not quite bitter, right?
No,
but it's definitely got that.
There's like ginger in it. There's like a spice.
There's something in there. It hits you in the back end.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
What are we going to be drinking next time, though? Next time, let me set this up.
You want to do this one?
Well,
I'll do this. You just set it up.
But I'll set it up. So next time, guys, this is definitely different. This is going to be different. This is going to be less of a hint at, and you guys might be able to figure out the hint. This is straight up the drink in the movie. And this is one of those cases where we don't even care how specific it is, because it's much like the movie we did today, where I don't know if many of you have seen it. I don't know how many of you have seen this one. So we can totally just tell you the drink.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of give you the recipe.
We're going to give you the recipe. When you see the picture, you'll understand even more. And again, if you don't know right away, you won't. I promise. Yeah. Don't rack your brain. Maybe Google it if you want to cheat.
Yeah, if you want to cheat, that's fine.
But I promise you, it is the kind of thing, when you get the picture, when you hear what Bo's about to say, when you put it all together, if you know, you will fucking know.
100 points to you if you do fucking
Definitely, because this is another, much like the one we just covered, this is a movie from my childhood. One, right? It's obscure, and most people haven't seen.
This is another one I'd never heard of, too. This is our next one, but I'm just going to give you the recipe here. It's 4 parts 100 proof vodka, 2 parts peppermint schnapps for that mouthwash flavor, 1 1 part creme de menthe to make it green.
That's the drink, guys.
That's the drink. You mix it all together. There you
Voila. There's no name for this drink. There's no clever way to do that.
But this is in the movie. Literally what I just said.
And I'll go ahead and add to, again, you'll be looking at a picture, so it doesn't really matter. But so you'll see the picture.
Yeah.
This is going to be in
a scope bottle.
It is in a mouthwash bottle.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Bo told you for that mouthwash flavor. It's because that's what it will have for a reason. And again, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
You don't, but you're going to learn because that's our next episode.
That's right.
We can't wait to see you there.
Wrapping up. I think we're officially done. I think that's it.
All right, cool. And we're not going to be tested on this, are we?